all, and welcome to episode 10 of Dialogue with Director. It's astonishing how we have reached already 10 episodes. I think it's almost a year now that I have been Director of School Education. And this Dialogue with Director initiative has been really appreciated by you all. So thank you for all that. And we'll like to continue that. So today we have a very special guest, Gayatri Marnie Batkhar from Happy Feet. And I would, now ask her to introduce herself, because there's a big journey you have in the field of academics. So why don't you introduce yourself, and especially focusing on your professional journey right from the very beginning.
Good morning, sir. And it's really an honor to be here and to be called by you. So I began my professional life at a very young age. I started, I just finished my graduation.
Okay.
I hadn't even gotten my result yet.
Okay.
I was waiting for my results. So I wanted to start working, actually. I always wanted to work. And when I was a girl in school also, in college, I used to give tuitions to all the children in my locality, around the locality.
When you were in college?
Yes,
okay.
So I used to help them with their studies and Hindi. Many of the children from the locality used to come to me. But then when I was in college, I said, no, I lost my mother at a young age. So I wanted to just start working and help my family. So I went to Nigrims. That time the office was in Dhanketi, and I met the director, Mr. Das. He was an IS officer. And I asked him if there's any job vacancies. So they had just started up, and he said that I'm just looking for someone.
Which year was that?
That was in 97.
Wow.
I just finished my exams, my honors in English from Lady King College.
Okay.
So he said, I need somebody to sort out, and then took me to a room full of application forms. Like the room was just filled with application forms. And he said, I want you to sit and sort out these forms. So I was very happy. That I didn't realize that it was just a contractual job. But then I was very happy to get a job, and I started working.
But that was not relating to teaching?
No, not at all. It wasn't at all related to teaching. I went on to work. I was soon absorbed into I gave myself the interview letter. I went for the interview, and then ultimately I got the post, the permanent post. And I worked in Nigrims for 4.5 years.
Okay. As a?
As a upper divisional assistant,
Okay.
and also in the computer section.
Okay.
But then that was not what I had in my, in my heart. I always wanted to become a teacher.
Okay.
My mother was a teacher. My
Okay.
aunt was a teacher.
Wow.
So I
teachers.
liked working with children, and I wanted to. So I went to the director. That time it was Dr. A.K. Barua. And I said, so I would like to take some leave for study. I wanted to do my B.Ed.
Right.
So he said, no, I'm not letting you leave. You can take leave. But when I looked up the rules and regulations, we were not allowed to take. It's only for the doctors, and only they could take leave for higher education. So I applied for my B.Ed. I did not resign. I did not give my resignation, because I didn't know whether I would get in. So I did the written test and the interview for my B.Ed, and I did get in. So then I gave my resignation letter, worked for that 1 month, and joined my B.Ed classes, completed my B.Ed.
Okay.
In the year 2001, I completed my B.Ed, and before my results were declared, I got a job in St. Edmund School.
Okay, great.
So then
was this love for teaching, as you said, is because of the legacy of your mother and of your others who were teachers, or you had something like always felt that you you want to be a teacher?
I always felt I want to be a teacher, and actually I admired the way my mother taught me.
Okay.
I remember the history classes when I was in school in Pine Mount. My mother came to do her B.Ed, and she came for her practice teaching, and she taught the class that I was in.
So you're a student of Pine Mount?
Yes. So I really liked the way she taught, and I felt that maybe I would also make a good teacher, and so that's how I.
So you've spent 12 years at St. Edmund's.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So how was that experience?
That was wonderful. That was wonderful. I started teaching classes 5 onwards, and then eventually they asked me to teach 8, 9, 10. So I actually repeated teaching these same boys that I taught in the junior classes, and it was a very wonderful journey, and I learned a lot in Edmonds.
What did you learn?
I learned that, see, I did my B.Ed, but I didn't get that first-hand experience of teaching in a school. So I learned, about how to manage the students. I learned about different students, they come from different groups, how to manage them. I was the class teacher also of the bigger boys, and soon I taught 8, 9, 10. And I really enjoyed, because I was a teacher. I was firm when I had to be, but I was also a friend to them. And in fact, some of them are doing so well in life now, and they're in touch with me. The previous IS officer, Swapnil, was my student. I did teach him also, and I taught quite a few of the boys who are now doctors, and they're doing very well in life. But I thought that, I wanted to, try something of my own.
Okay, okay, great. So so how did this idea, you wanted to start something of your own, huh? So the Happy Feet initiative and all that, there also you have now 13 years into it.
Yes, it's the 13th year.
So how did this start originally? I mean, how did the idea come, and how has been these 13 years?
The idea, I would always tell my husband that I wanted to have a school of my own.
Okay.
I would always tell him, but I never really put much thinking into that. I was very busy with Edmonds, and then I had 3 boys of my own to look after. So one fine day, I came home, and the plot next to our house, I saw some construction happening. So I asked the mistris, kya ho raha hai? And they said, sir, school banayega bola aapke liye. So it was like that, it started. And then I really got excited.
Okay.
So I went to Delhi, and I looked up a few schools, and then I decided how I would like the building to be. I wanted all the children to come out to a play area, not confined into small dingy classrooms. So then, with the help of my husband, who also is from the engineering background, I decided and planned out the building and so on. I was a little apprehensive to leave Edmonds, because it was everything, was on my own expenses. So I was very lucky, because at that time, who I still have with me is a retired teacher of Edmonds, Mrs. Murdani. So I approached her and I said, I would like to start a school. So will you join me? Will you join me? Will you help me? Because and she was called by many schools, being an experienced teacher, but it just clicked, I guess, and she said yes. And so for 1 year I was in Edmonds. The construction was happening. She had retired and she was in the States with her children. But then the planning started. We would plan everything from the uniform to the books and everything. And soon we started.
So how did this name came up? Is it inspired from the movie?
Not exactly. We just thought of it, something, a happy place and tiny feet. We never really took it from the movie or anything like that.
Okay, great. So NEP 2020, the National Education Policy,
Yes.
talks a lot about pre-primary and early, childhood care and education (ECCE), and now it is coming into focus. Like earlier, mostly Anganwadis were there, where children were going in rural areas. They were just taking the food and not really getting into education part. But now, with the focus in NEP, there's a lot of focus on this pre-primary. The 3 years of pre-primary, there's a lot of focus. So what are your thoughts on this NEP driving this pre-primary education?
I think it's good because the early education is the most important, the crucial one for them. And I feel, but I still feel that children should be in a separate play school, and it should not be merged with the bigger schools. As per the new NEP policy, now they're saying like nursery, pre-nursery, like KGs should all be within one infrastructure. I still feel that the children need that little bit of extra love and care at that age before they go into a big school with many bigger children playing around the fields, because here they are in that comfort zone, they are cared for. I'm totally with with this 3 years of early education, where there is the nursery, lower KG and upper KG, then 1 and 2. But I still feel that a play school should be a play school. When they are about 5+, they can go into a formal school.
Okay.
Within the same, maybe if the schools have their own separate Montessori building and separate swings and separate toys, everything should be separate for them.
But what is the reason, rationale behind this? Because as you yourself said, NEP talks about school complexes. Mm-hmm. So it's saying it should every school should have from pre-primary to class 12th,
yeah.
so that there's no burden on the students to shift in between.
Yes,
and the transition should be smooth.
Transition should be smooth.
But do you think that if bigger children are there from secondary, and the pre-primary children will feel intimidated or some impact on
if they are in the same campus, sir? Okay. If they are in a different campus, then yes, because they are really, when they come to school at 3+, they are toddlers.
Right.
Some of them can't even walk. We hold their hands. They can't balance themselves.
Yes.
So it's a little scary, because even my children, when they joined in KG, they were 5+. But I was even scared for them with bigger boys in the field. They would be in the same field, pushed around. They are still very tender age. Their bones are not, they're still soft. So, slowly, yes, they will have to eventually.
That's an interesting idea. But what if we segregate the timings and all that? Because eventually we have to reconcile the idea of a school complex.
Yes.
So do you think that will work, segregating the timings of pre-primary and elementary?
Maybe it would work. But again, the timings will have to be according to their, it can't be too early in the mornings also for them. They're very small, so they can't.
So interesting point. We can talk about it more. So so you said you wanted to start a school, but why pre-primary school? Why a play school?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't have that much of space, nor the resources. So I said, let me start something small. Let me start something which I can handle. I mean, it's more about the love that I have for children. So whatever age, let it be. I mean, so it was basically because of that.
Okay, so in future, do you see this, your Happy Feet school becoming a full-fledged elementary or a secondary school also?
No, I don't want that.
Okay.
I don't want that. I'm happy, yes, I'm happy with this, yes.
Okay. So how is education, imparting education in pre-primary different from elementary?
It's totally different because, as I said, when they come in, first of all, it takes us about a month to settle them.
Okay.
They are crying, they don't know us, and they are separated from their parents, which is a little difficult for us as teachers. They're scared, they're very scared in the beginning, where have our parents left us? But, the joys come later on when they start adjusting. They're very innocent, and but they forget us once they leave. They, after some years when the parents we meet, they say they don't remember us anymore because they were very small. But yes, the challenges are in both ways. There are challenges, but here it's a different thing. We have different challenges and different ways to go about it.
What are these challenges?
Like I said, the first
one
thing
is,
is yes. Then we have to, the parents are a little apprehensive, so we have to get them into our, like we have to. The parents have to know that their child is in a secure and a safe place, and that is one. Then I have problems of traffic issues because children are very small. So we can't allow them to come on their own in a school bus. We can't have a school bus system.
Right.
Yes.
Too small.
So that's another thing. They need their parents to come. And sometimes children are very small, so they get scared even for small things. And like the first thing is we need to get them to know us, to open up to us. And once that happens, then eventually, and we don't have a set curriculum, sir. There is no set curriculum by the government. Now I have introduced all the NEP books. I mean, whatever books this year, which has been all given by NEP, So I hope that it's the right curriculum, because there is no set curriculum. We just try to find out what they are doing in the bigger schools, what is required for them to know before they go into the formal schools.
Okay.
So we prepare them for that.
Right. But are you aware that NCFFS has been notified, which is the National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage, which is 3 years of pre-primary and class 1 and class 2. So Government of India has released that, and now our state is working for the SCFFS, and soon it will be out. But recently I visited this National Book Trust, and this is for the information of everyone, all those who are involved in pre-primary. So there I have seen they have developed the NBT, they have, in collaboration with various organizations, they have developed these activity books, like, for pre-primary, for 1, 2, 3, year 1, year 2, year 3. So we will soon be visiting them, and along with our experts and all that, and maybe we'll introduce that in Meghalaya. But this is just for the information of all. So NCFFS is already out. The state curriculum framework will be out soon, and we are working on what Kong said, the syllabus, and this thing is missing for the pre-primary. So we will work it out, contextualize it in the context of the state. So that is happening. But in these 3 years, what should they think? What is the objective of these 3 years as per you? What should be the objective? And because pre-primary teachers, with what framework they should approach these 3 years?
I think it should be very flexible. It should be in the playway method. They should learn through play. They should not be intimidated with coming to school. It should be a happy place. They should like school. They should like the environment. When they like the school, when they like the environment, that is where learning will eventually take place. They should not be scared, and and I think we should go very slow with them in the beginning, because we can't push them to learn too much. They are very small, their hands are little, they barely have we have to work on their finer and the gross motor skills. So it has to be a very gradual process with a lot of love and care.
Great. So what change, how you have designed, you said you have taken special interest in designing your school.
Yes.
So what things you have incorporated to ensure that, it's a nice learning place for the little ones?
I have outdoors, I have little toys. I have swings and slides, all for their age level, not big swings and slides, small swings, slides, seesaws, everything according to their age. Then I have these toys that I have got, like plastic toys, like rockers, and we have hoops, and we have balls, and then even the outside play area we've put numbers, and we've put the letters of the alphabet, so that they can enjoy that, they skip and hop. Then the classrooms also, we've tried to make it as friendly as possible, with wall stickers and colorful tables and chairs to attract them. I have a lot of toys in the classrooms as well. We don't take out the books for a month or so. And that also, we just give them coloring, because some of them want to do some work. they think that coming to school they need to, they tell us, I want to write, so we give them colors, and so we're trying to make it very attractive. We have a AV room, audiovisual room, we have an indoor playroom.
Wow, so many things. So this is very similar to a concept called Bala. Are you aware of the concept?
Yes, I've just
building as learning aid.
Yes.
So this is for the information of all, especially in pre-primary, and we will be doing it in a lot of this elementary schools as well from Samagra Shiksha. So building as learning aid is basically how you by way of drawings or designs or some special features you introduce in your classroom environment, that they make them learn, and in a fun way, like what they are doing in their school. So this I encourage all the schools at elementary level also to use these Bala methods, and if you just Google or YouTube, you'll get very innovative ideas of how we can teach many things like alphabet, numbers, multiplication, addition, small things by way of diagrams, and figures and various small devices and do it yourself techniques and all that. So it's a very interesting concept, and maybe in in future we'll make a separate video on this Bala thing, but it's very interesting to know that you have used all these concepts. Now coming to the next question, a lot of talk about assessments. So we are moving toward formative assessments, and we are doing a lot on assessments, but of course that is for elementary and secondary. Do you think it makes any sense to do any kind of assessment at pre-primary level?
We do a little bit of assessment, but not that exams or anything like that. It's a gradual, it's a everyday assessment. Like the teachers, it's in this level that we know if they have a learning problem, if they need a little bit of extra help. How do
you assess?
We have a lot of oral work.
Okay.
We begin our day with oral work and with coloring, and so we assess them by observing them in the class every day.
Okay.
Whether a child is not being able to cope, as per his or her age, as per the other children. And we also have a few special children in the school. So then we can help them at a young age, speak to the parents and get help for them, the right help, or give extra care or attention to them in that way. But even just to know if a child is not being able to grip a pen or is a pencil, or is not being able to converse when the others of his or her class are all conversing. So maybe they need a little bit of speech therapy, maybe
So this is basically assessment by way of observation.
Observation, yes,
not
exactly.
by any kind of test or any kind of
no, not that. We ask them, to identify the letters of the alphabet. Once we've taught them for about a few months, so if they're still not being able to identify, we still give them time. Then we still think, we need more time. It's also for our teachers to understand. Maybe they are lacking somewhere, we are lacking somewhere. Maybe we have to approach it in another way. And each child is different.
But so what is your viewpoint? Should there be any assessment, formal assessment at this level?
Not a formal assessment where you keep children back, but just an assessment to know the progress of the child and the progress that the teacher is making as well with the children.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have a lot of Anganwadis in the rural area especially, and so there mostly, as I said, the focus has not been in the past on the education and all that. So, but then in rural areas, they go to these Anganwadis and then they go to the elementary. So, any viewpoints on that? Like what we are missing in the? Have you visited any Anganwadis or while you were researching and all that? And do you have any observations on them?
I did go to one Anganwadi school. Actually, we had a project there. I'm also in the Rotary organization. So then I did see the infrastructure was nice. I did speak to some people out there, and they are trying their best. They are doing a lot, but I don't know, because personally when I spoke to these Anganwadi workers, they did say that that they are not capable. They are not capable to teach in that way. It's more like a creche where they can just take care of the children and do the little bit that they can. But I think if we had a little bit of trained people, somebody, you know,
Qualified.
then yes, qualified.
So we do have a diploma in this kind of pre-primary education, right?
Yes. They have NTT, the nursery trained teachers were there, and but like for instance in my school I have a few NTT teachers. I also have a few teachers, you know, who are not NTT. Some have done their DLED, some are not NTT passed, but we just train them, because it's not difficult. I think if the Anganwadi workers can also get trained.
But in Meghalaya, if somebody wants to do that diploma in pre-primary, is there any institution which is offering that?
Now I heard that there was one, and now I heard that they are not having it for some time, but I'm not very sure, because I myself I've done my B.Ed.
You talked about NTT. Yeah. So where can if somebody is interested to become one, how do they become one?
One of my teachers did it through the army.
Okay.
Yes, but now I'm not sure where they do it. You know? Yes.
So this a lot of awareness needs on this pre-primary. You know, if somebody wants to. So maybe we will take that up. Last point I want to ask is that as of now, schools are regulated by this directorate, and we have various mechanisms to ensure that everything is in place by way of ensuring opening permissions and the certificate of recognition, etc., and it is monitored by the DSCOs and SDSCOs. But unfortunately, as on today, there's not much clarity on this, on pre-primary schools. There's no regulation and there's no established nodal agency on that. So what are your views on that? Should there be, one?
Yes, I really feel there should be one, because I'm having this problem. We have parents who are in transferable jobs. So when they need the reimbursement form, when they give us the reimbursement form, I don't have a UDICE code, nor do I have a registration number. So it becomes very difficult for these parents also. So I feel, that we also should be under some governing body, under somebody who can we can go to for any help, or we have a set, like I said, a set curriculum, and I really feel that is what all play schools, we are all facing the same problem. We don't know where we stand, whether we are under the director of education, whether we are under social welfare department.
Kind of overlapping jurisdiction right now. Yeah, but so that is the need of the hour. So we'll look into that definitely. So lastly, I want you to give a message to all as I said, now pre-primary education is now booming, and more and more awareness on that. So there's a lot of demand on play schools and nurseries and pre-primary schools. Anganwadis, of course, are improving. So a message because you have spent so many years, 13 years in your happy feet, and before that you were a teacher also. So with your experience, a message to all the teachers who are dealing with pre-primary and also with elementary education.
Personally, I feel, I'll just say what I feel. I feel it's very important for you all to understand the child at this age, to give them all the love and affection. Education, they have their whole life, they will be studying, but once you give them that love and that good foundation, start with small things, eventually they will learn. Do not push them too far. Don't judge the children. They're babies after all, and we all have children. So just give them a lot of love and do your thing the best that you can. The way that you're doing it, I'm sure all the teachers are doing a wonderful job. Continue in your efforts, and I think we'll go a long way in this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So that was the proprietor and owner of Happy Feet. And this was episode 10, and it has been a wonderful journey with these 10 episodes. And I know there are many more people with interesting stories and insights to share on education. And we are looking forward to take this podcast to another level. So I want you to share this platform with as many teachers and students. We have more than 55,000 teachers. We have 15,000 1,000 schools in the state. We have more than 11 lakh students studying in the formal education sector right now. So this message should reach to all of them. So please share these episodes, and please tell us who else should we invite on these podcasts to share the wonderful ideas and practices which are being undertaken in the field of education sector, so that we can together spread the good practices and improve education in Meghalaya. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for watching and sharing these episodes. Thank you. Kuble Shibun, Mithila.